Happy Chainsaw Man Day! It is time to talk about this week's chapter of Chainsaw Man. We're gonna do it live. We're gonna find out what the heck's about to happen because, Asa got some very white justice situation on her hand at the moment. And will this make or break their friendship, their relationship that could be budding here? We want to find out because I have no idea what's about to happen here. Bulk, how you doing? So as you already know, go on the Soul and Jump app. I mean, the thing's stupid cheap. It's free. Go over there, read it with me, read along so we can react together. If you already read it, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it because there's a lot of reaction. You want to see how I react to these things because it's going to get kind of crazy in here, all right? It's going to get kind of crazy. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into this because I'm looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this since that chapter last week. So I'm glad that there was no break or any of that kind of stuff because I need to see what's about to happen here when it comes to them. And I hope that we get some actual development, especially when it comes to Asa and Yoru. I've been saying this for the longest time. I need to see these two have an actual interaction to understand what's even going on when it comes to freaking Yoru here, because Yoru's the one that did all the crap, right? So what the heck? Mess them up. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna happen though. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a sticky situation for sure. Oh, exactly, Des. So welcome in though. But of course, I expected this. I expected them to go on break. Like Fujimoto does this all the goddamn time, and I expected this much. I'm just hoping that this chapter can at least give us some insight on the whole thing here. So that's the main thing I'm looking for. All right, how you doing, Anna? Get it open. Let us get it going. Let me open my phone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Wait. The chapter's called 168. Kiss, Love, Sperm. Huh? He is not shying away from this. All right, buddy. I mean, what's on her hand? What's on her hand? Okay. That is another war in the fan base. I really hope not, but who knows? Who really knows? Okay, because I got to see some of the reactions that people were having for this chapter, and it is a little ridiculous. Okay, Fujimoto's something else. All right. She's looking at her hand. This is still Yoru, actually. Interestingly enough, hold up. Yeah, Yoru's looking at this, and she's looking shocked. He's on the ground. So why did she... Interesting, because, like, Asa did notice it, but I guess Yoru went back and immediately jumped back in. Was Asa that shocked to a point where she's like, I can't handle this, and let Yoru take over the body again? Because that's interesting. Gross. She puts her hand in a puddle of water. Where's freaking this water? Just some dirty water. I mean, I guess, look, you gotta put the white justice somewhere, okay? You kind of... You don't have no tissues or anything like that. It's just like kind of wipe it off. I mean, just in general, at the end of the day, it's like, if I smell like fish. All right, let me stop. Don't misunderstand. I only kissed you because it felt good. Is somebody, where's the lie detector at? Man, oh man, look at this. This Splash taking a bath. He's stupid. Why'd you kiss? I only kissed you because it felt good. Don't get cocky. But again, why would you do? Yoru, why would you do this? You just impulse? Sus. All right. Look, we don't trust that. Now, Dingy Jr. Hey, look. It is what it is. It is Dingy Jr. Is it not? Okay, let me stop. And you kiss him again. I guess you're trying to prove a point. You're trying to prove a point. Like, look, I can kiss you anytime because it just feels good. But it doesn't mean there's anything attached to it. You know, there's no emotions. There's no feelings. I don't care. You know. Well, give me some more of that. You know. And what's so crazy about this image right here? This man, he needs some chapstick. His lips are freaking crusty as heck, man. Like, god dang, man. How dehydrated are you? Granted, both of y'all are sweating like profusely. Like it's kind of crazy how much y'all sweating. Y'all gotta calm yourselves a little bit here, okay? Look, I ain't trying to kiss nobody, right? Look, this is up to them, okay? Okay, Delvin, welcome in. Do you like me? I don't like you. Only the other me likes you. We're dropping that. So casually. All right then. how is he gonna process this though? Does he understand what he's seeing right now? Because again, Yoru has scars on her face. Does he understand that's Yoru and there's another person? 'Cause he never really shows awareness in this particular instance here when it comes to this character, because he thinks it's one of the same. I think I don't know. It's weird. So I am curious. What is he about to say here? Actually, seconds wasn't enough. She came back for thirds. Exactly. Whoa. But she said, man, man, did you eat garbage today? Are you exactly? I also like that. Her feelings flowed into me. Okay, so what I was saying was kind of true then. It was based off of Asa's emotions that allowed this particular situation to kind of happen in the first place. Okay. I'm hungry too. Eat some sushi, perk up, and prepare to fight. I mean, were you not supposed to do a particular job here, Yoru? Are you forgetting something? Weren't you supposed to chop the dick off? Sus, all right, that's all I'm saying. Sus. Now he's sitting in this freaking alleyway all by himself. Just, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dingy. See, this is what I'm saying. This is how you know he's a victim, bro. This is how you know he's a victim. He's sitting there and wallowing in like shame in here. It's this. I feel bad for him at the end of the day. You know, you know what it was. That the whole point was for Asa / Yoru to chop off his dick so he has no more of those horny emotions, so that they can then fight and have him at a clearer mind. That was the whole purpose of this. But it kind of turned to another situation. Okay, when it comes to relieving somebody, you know. Read my boy from this. I know, right? It's Chainsaw Man. I thought you knew this. That Dinky was wearing his kids. Actually, true. Interesting. That is true. I feel like this is right. This image right here alone is symbolism. Actually, wasn't this like an alleyway that looked very similar to this in like in part one? This looks very familiar, actually, in a lot of ways. I mean, I gotta think more about this because I know there's symbolism behind this particular image right here that we're seeing right now with Denji being in here by himself. Y'all can't see it because my screen just want to be stupid. All right, she's walking away. She's walking. Okay, there's Asa. Okay, what's Asa about to say? Yo, she slammed her own head to the wall. She said, "Sucker, what you do? Why you do this? I'll stop it, idiot, Asa." Why you kiss him? I sense we kissed before. I was only confirming my suspicions. It felt good, didn't it? Are you about to punch yourself? Yeah, you're punching. Why are you punching yourself? Huh? Why you punching yourself? Look, Asa's going in on her. That's funny, going in on herself. That sounds freaking weird. But you know what? Look. Wait! Don't you dare! Ugh, that hurts. I thought you liked Chainsaw Man. Shouldn't you be happy? You freaking beat his meat. Like, what are you talking? all right. Yoru, what? You can't defend yourself on this. What are you talking about? Like, it's one thing to kiss, okay? But you did something. You went a little far. You went extra mile, okay? It's like, what are you doing? I was like, having a fight club over. I know, right? I can't. That's where the alleyway is from. That's what I'm thinking too. Cause it looked like that. Makima asking Kid Dingy, does he think someone likes him? He should be. Oh, that's where. Oh, okay. See, I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. He's been doing this. He's been dropping little subtleties from back then, and he's adding it now, which has been such just peak writing is going on here. So I thought it was exciting. I just didn't know exactly where. Okay. Metaphor devil's coming real. Now, I mean, no. It's literally about chopping some dicks off, okay? Look, because he don't need that. It makes him stupid, okay? I also remember outside a dream about an alley. Yeah, exactly. So this all kind of comes together. So this is what I'm saying. All the information's finally seeing here, like that information that we didn't exactly understand initially is all coming together. Like I said, again, Fujimoto is actually cooking. If you pay attention to what he's doing, not just by like what the dialogue is, but even some of the subtleties in the backgrounds and things of that nature, it all kind of comes back at some point in time. And it's just like, I feel like people are kind of missing some of that. I feel like some people are missing some of that. I'll admit that. I missed a little bit of it. But that's what I'm talking about, baby. You don't think I'm a slut now? You slut? Okay. I mean, I don't know if that's the thought process you'll actually have. I'm not sure about that, but okay. Huh. I'm too hungry for this. Interesting. And they're on opposite sides of the train here together. They're really not sitting next to each other. And Denji's looking at her from afar here, unfortunately. I mean, again, this was a very awkward situation to begin with. Huh. And it's also funny, too, that we got Fami sitting next to Denji. So, I mean, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what happened, so they're not going to talk about this, I don't think. Death by sushi? Fresh raw fish taste? I don't know why I'm laughing at that, because it's just like, I mean, it's sushi, okay? But at the same time, like, raw? I was talking about fish? Look, I'm just saying, all right, look. Sus, all right? let me stop right there. This is the end of the chapter. Okay, so, man, part of me was expecting a bit more of, like, inner thought maybe within this. I mean, I like the fact that we did get to see Asa being upset about this, obviously, because, like, she had no control of the situation, obviously, here, because Yoru decided to follow through with those emotions that are there. Now, obviously, that wasn't the smartest thing to do. I don't know why the heck that compelled. Again, it'd be one thing to kiss him, but then to go as far as what you did is like you're doing a whole nother level, okay, Yoru. I don't think Asa was trying to go that far in this particular situation. But again, I doubt Denji's gonna think of her in that kind of manner, especially considering that if he understands what he's seeing between this, that there's two personalities there. Hopefully he does. Like, he still hasn't confirmed this. Like, he hasn't said anything about this to know that he knows that there's Asa and Yoru. You know what I mean? So there's information that needs to be said here. Technically, Asa did beat him off because Yoru was after the Asa. I mean, yes, but no. Like, you gotta think about it. You think if it was Asa's like if Asa was there in that particular situation, you think Asa would actually go as far as she did? Well, how Yoru did, anyways? I don't think so. I don't know, because she's very timid in that kind of situation. So I don't think she would actually jump on her feelings like that. Yoru, I guess, on the other hand, is like, I gotta confirm something. Get over here. Be freaking out here being a goddamn predator. Like, what are we doing here? But now, more and more, they are becoming one entity, which is true. This is one of the things about the chapter that's a highlight, which is why I've been asking for a minute. We needed some interaction, and so this was actually a good thing to see, because we do see that they are molding together. Like, they are feeling each other's feelings and emotions in here, and that's what compelled her to even do what she did in the first place. So it kind of like confirms that that's why they're on such good terms at this point, because something clicked and now they're like really molding here. So I wonder, which brings up the question, because Yoru always makes the threat of, I can just kill you because I only have half your brain and yada yada yada. I can just take you out of here and not have to worry about that no more. She always makes that kind of threat. She hasn't done that in a while, but she's made that threat before. I wonder if she could even do that now, given how connected that they actually are. Like, because it might just be one and the same, so she couldn't even do that even if she wanted to now. So that is another question that is getting brought up when it comes to this. But that's what happens when, you're inside our body for so long. You guys kind of become one in that sense. So I mean, that's maybe part of the reason why we've been seeing how Asa has been able to control the abilities so much better is the reason too. Kind of telling Asa's character there, she's more concerned about his perception of her than his well-being, which is also yeah. I mean, again, this is super in line with how Asa is. Asa is unfortunately very self-centered. She cares about the perception of others at the end of the day. I mean, given what we've seen about how she is and how she kind of operates, like, I mean, she doesn't want to be seen in a certain light, unfortunately. And I mean, I get it, but she should also be concerned about how he feels about this, because he was forced upon. Like, this is not something that he just asked for. He didn't ask, like, hey, Asa, Yoru, can you do the wanky panky and turn it all around? That's all it's all about. Like, no, we're not doing that. That's not what he asked for. This came out of nowhere, guys. Death Devil confirmed. Wait, why do you say that? Desto? Okay, my break is over. Gonna get back to it. I'll see you on stream tonight. Okay, I got you, Dev. Thank you for dropping in. But it's been wild, okay? You gotta understand, it's been a wild time up here. Again, I do like the fact that this was a good symbolism point, too, when it comes to Digi back in the alleyway. And also, for that particular moment, even that's why the clothes actually matters as well. So that was a really good point that you made, Woke. When it comes down to that particular scene, like I said, again, he is doing a lot of symbolism at this point, and we got to start paying attention a bit more of like just everything that's happening within Chainsaw Man. So that was a really nice touch that was added there. I do want to know what's going on actually at this point now, since all this has been said, because he doesn't understand what's going on. It's unfortunate because like Denji's always have women use and abuse him all the freaking time, and this is just another instance of this particular situation that's going on here. You know, like Himeno, straight up predator, unfortunately, given how she was around him. Rize was a little bit different, but she still was trying to use him at the end of the day and work within his emotions to get him to be on her side. Now, she did start developing like emotions for him, but that's here nor there. You know what I mean? There's still she had a mission, and that she was trying to fulfill that. So she was still trying to use him like that. Even Power initially was using him, because if you remember correctly, freaking the goddamn you saved my cat, you touched my boobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always like in a thirst type of situation that kind of goes on here, and there's always been he's always getting used. Now Power did better later on. That's why the relationship kind of changed over time, which is a good thing. But and then Makima's, you know, just the freaking, you know, the Dami Mami ultimate control bark for me. You know, yeah, like she's so bad. So it's just Asa, or I'd say Yoru is kind of doing something similar, unfortunately, within this particular situation, and it's just not. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for her. So there's a lot of deeper meaning behind all this, unfortunately, and I don't know how Denji's gonna actually operate or work around this to begin with, because the thing is, he's never really experienced any of this type of stuff, so I don't know how he's going to get past this and try to make this make sense to him, you know? So that's what kind of sucks about this, because he's still young. God, remember, he's still like 16 or something like that. No, he's actually not 16 anymore, but he's older than that now. But still, like, he hasn't experienced much within his life when it comes to, the sexual side of things. He doesn't know, and he doesn't know what's good or bad in this type of sense either. So it also depends on who is going to give this man advice. That's why I was hoping maybe Katana Man could say something. I'm kind of curious if he's going to have an idea. But it seems like from what we see in this chapter, I don't think anyone even knows what went on. No one questions it, because I'm pretty sure someone's going to have to ask at some point, did you actually cut this man's dick off? I like to think so, because they know that was the plan here. So I'm assuming that has to get brought up at some point. So I'm curious of how they're going to go about it, because I could see Yoru be like, yeah, I did it. So we don't have to worry about that no more or something. So this could be like a weird secret within this like group now or something. And who knows? Like, the problem is, what's kind of concerning, if you really start thinking about this too, this could be a reoccurring thing. She already said herself, like, this, I did it only because it feels good. And maybe she might start doing this even more so now, seeing as she actually did do what she did. So this can even snowball into some other crap that goes on here. So I don't know. Like, the fact that they're still around each other, it can get worse than this, actually. So, like I said, there's a lot here. Yeah. Something small but interesting in this chapter is characters mentioning that they're hungry multiple times. Let's not forget families built. True. I mean, granted, see, that's an interesting subtlety, because you're not gonna think too much of it. I'm glad you brought that up, though. It's a very interesting subtlety, because everybody is hungry. That's why they wanted to go get some sushi or get some food in the first place, because everybody's getting hungry in the first place. But it makes me wonder, is Fami setting something up? Because is this a plan that Fami could potentially be doing? Because obviously, if they get hungry like that, that does give her more power. Granted, they are going to a sushi place. Like, she didn't stop them from going there. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like actually a thing that's happening. But there's an interesting detail that you do bring up, because everybody's getting hungry, and that would actually prompt her to be at a different level of strength than at that point. So there could be some other setup going on even in the background that we're not really quite catching when it comes to Fami. I mean, Fami, again, was sitting right next to Denji as well. So I wonder. That is something, honestly, we need to keep an eye on. We need to make sure that we keep that in the back of our minds. and just see how this whole sushi run even goes. Because I'm assuming you still have to pay for the sushi and all that. So who got money to actually fill their stomachs? You know what I mean? Because that is a situation in of itself. That's if they can do this, unless they're gonna like get food and then try to like run off or something. Because you never know. If any making moves differently. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she is. Because I mean, this is fam we're talking about. Like I said again, we all know family's not like with all this to begin with. Because you know, also is trying to like defend her, but like she didn't not say a goddamn thing, so she ain't come. She don't care about that. You know what I mean? She ain't for freaking thing. She ain't for any of this. She has her own ulterior motive, so we know this much. But that's a very good detail to actually bring up. To the family who says she knew this. I think yes, actually. But see what can that entail? Because I mean, this could be just nothing. Because again, why would you bring them to some food place then? Because you don't want them to eat is the thing, to get full. Because then, of course, they're no longer hungry. Unless they expect something to happen. Does she... Man, okay, so this is interesting. Because, like, there could be a situation at hand to where they actually don't eat food. This could be what we were talking about before. Where maybe Kobini can come back. Because we were talking about it before with the last time they were trying to go to this... to a restaurant to go eat some food, right? That, oh... You know, Kobini could be there, try to serve them and yada yada, and then the whole thing can kind of like get stupid or whatever the case is, right? Because that can still happen in this particular situation, seeing as they actually found a place to go get food. So like, in of itself, that could actually be something here. Or like you said, if she knows this place and they're getting them and they're going to that place because of family, she probably could have something set up in a way that just gets in the way of them being able to even eat. This could even spark Denji having to maybe even go into Chainsaw Man mode. It depends on the situation. Also, she does have abilities to allow her to like summon other devils. So we can't forget about that. Because there could easily just be another devil even working. Shoot! I would crack up if we saw the Fallen Devil again working at this place. I mean, was she not a chef? Was she not a chef? I'm just throwing it out there. All right, God. So, look. I doubt all that could be the case, but there could be something being cooked up right now, pun intended. So who knows? Death by Sushi. I doubt. So we can't. I don't know. I doubt we're gonna see the Death Devil in the particular. I mean, because like, what kind of agency would Fami have to like get her freaking other sister involved in this? Like, you know what I mean? I don't see that being the case. I don't see the Death Devil. Because I know you're joking, but like let's see if it's real. What if it was real? What if it was real? Because like that'd be a weird. Granted, this is Fujimoto we're talking about. You always got to expect the unexpected. So as bootleg as that sounds, you never know. You never actually know. We can actually see like the server, right? Could be the Death Devil, but we wouldn't even know that. Because they don't have to reveal themselves. Granted, if you see their eyes, that's like a dead giveaway, obviously. But I'm just saying, look, maybe they got something that blocks their eyes. Who knows? Like, it's not impossible. The fact that the place is called Death by Sushi is also kind of sus in of itself. Like, all this stuff matters. All this stuff does matter, and you gotta keep in mind how Fujimoto is. Little things like this go a long way. Your family's addiction. She just walked up and she walked up in the store. Yeah, exactly. You can't forget about freaking family. Like, family is a big point in all of this at the end of the day, and she hasn't done anything yet, but she's bound to do something here. So you have a good point. So I think the next chapter, when we do get the next chapter, we might see Fami actually make a move or make some moves here to maybe potentially further her power, maybe start finally enacting a plan in this particular situation. Yeah, exactly. There's a chance they might not even eat sushi going into the next chapter. That's because, like I said, I feel like this is going to be the moment something actually goes down. We don't know exactly what. This could be off based on family. This could even be off of Yoshida. Because remember, Yoshida is still a person that is in play right now. Maybe Kishibe can even be. That's like the whole thing we were talking about before. A lot of these characters could have a reoccurring moment going back into this. And since there is this is a public area, public place to go eat food. But there could be more to it than that meets the eye. So we just got to keep an eye on that. Maybe even some, like, because you're going back to the alleyway for a second there, like, when it comes to Denji, there's going to be some things that might unlock, suppressed memories of that nature might even come back and play for Denji. We might even get some more actual inner monologue, because, like, there is character growth within Denji at this point that we have seen from him, and it's just, I wonder how he's going to actually be able to progress from this point onwards, you know? So I think Fumiko being yeah, has to be something. I mean, again, we haven't even seen these guys in a minute, so this would be the appropriate time, because somebody could easily just be tailing them right now, because they've been doing a lot of moving around lately, and we haven't seen any of the public safety people even drop by. I mean, shoot. We haven't even heard too much about the other two that's here, like the class president and Konbini's brother. The class president could be like a mole in the situation and giving out information to the public safety for all we know, because we don't really know what his alliance is or what his allegiance is to all this whole situation. I know he was there with family, but we don't, you know what I mean? Like, he can easily flip and turn at any point in time. Like, they haven't said anything for a minute. They're literally background the entire time, but they haven't done anything. We got a lot more development when it comes to like Katana Man and all the other devils that are here right now, right? But we haven't got nothing from them. So they can even play a role in the situation of it going bad. So you also got to remember that too, because they are there. They are there. They said they don't got nowhere else to go, and they are afraid, given how the situation is. So who knows? It is a weird mention, and the fact that we're going to get some sushi right now, there's another thing in play. So, like, it's interesting where we can go here, and this is what makes it so difficult to know where Fujimoto's trying to go with some of this when it comes to Chainsaw Man. It's hard to tell. At the end of the day, one thing I can say is I do wish that this chapter maybe had more meat on the bone, with a little more development. With given everything that we had happened last chapter, I will admit I wish there was more to it than what we got, especially just between these two. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there could have been an extra panel or two really expressing the emotions more, at least especially within Denji's side of things. We did get to see Asa, but we don't really know where Denji actually stands in all this. And I wish, we got a little bit of that monologue there for him too, but I digress. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, that's just what Denji attracts. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. Denji attracts really, really hostile women. And you know what's funny, actually? A quick little debate talking about this, because it's kind of funny to me. I've heard some people actually complain about Chainsaw Man and how Fujimoto might be sexist, because you really think about it, all the women, there's something wrong with them. Like, they're all like, they might think like he might view women in a certain way, because there's always something wrong with these freaking women doing something, you know what I'm saying? And we got like women being predators and other things like that. I feel like this is more in line just with the story when it comes to showing that there is male victims and he's being a full-on victim. He's a victim. He's hurt here, okay? So I think he's just trying to show different meanings of that. There's so many different ways someone can be victimized is a thing here, and we're seeing too many different instances of this throughout the entire manga. I think that's what it is for Denji and within his character. And what we're seeing here, especially that he's young and impressionable in that sense. He's only learning as he grows and goes through life like this. So I think that's ultimately the message. I don't think he's trying to say women trash. God dang it. I doubt that. And yeah, exactly. Anna. The men in this series is, are they actually any better? These sagas are freaking unhinged, weird, and people also got to remember this too. They live in a world where they have to coexist with devils, with other devils. Like, your life could end at any moment, It's not even like, oh, getting hit by a car. You have a high chance of dying by the tomato devil. You know what I'm saying? You can die freaking going outside playing kickball, and that freaking ball is actually the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like the kickball devil. You know, like you don't even know. You kick that thing, lose your leg. Like, it's a wild world out there, but they still coexist and still move and live as much as they can. So given all that, you gotta also understand people are very unhinged. It's just in this world. The best job you can get is to fight said devils, because if you have any other job, it feels like it's not as important in that sense. You know what I mean? So people got to remember that. Like there is that to be discussed here, because it's just how the world is as well. And Fujimoto said in college, a girl kicked his bike down and made him the happiest he's ever been. Yeah. That explains yes. I saw that interview and I was like, Fujimoto, so you're saying you like being bullied? You like being stepped on? Like, you looking for a Nami mommy? Like, what is this? Like, like that insight alone explains a lot of how he makes his female characters in these series here and the shows that he's ever done. You know what I mean? Like, there's insight there just based off this man. This man's weird, okay? Like, we gotta remember this. Like, Fujimoto has a very weird mind, and if you don't think so, I don't want y'all to read this, but at the same time, if you never did, just read a couple of chapters of Fire Punch, and that will tell you everything you need to know about Fujimoto, because this man has a crazy mind, okay? I appreciate it because he's so unique, and he can do a lot when it comes to his stories, and there's a lot of big metaphors that he does within the series. The fact that Denji, which I don't know if anyone even said this about this, because it's a shonen, remember, guys. Denji subverts the whole perverted character trope that we see a lot of in not Chainsaw Man, but like in any series for that matter. Like Meliodas, for instance, is a big old perv, and that's just his character. That's who he is. You know what I mean? And we just accept that he's a freaking predator, basically, because the stuff that he does is freaking ridiculous. Like, I got upset just off the first episode of him just grabbing on freaking Elizabeth's breasts and be like, yeah, that's just what I do. And Elizabeth just sits there and is like, it is what it is. Like, no, it's like stop that guy. Like, what? Eden Zero, or I think is what it's called, something like that. The one that Hiro Mashima made. That series has a male protagonist that's just perverted, and he just does weird things, you know. And we just like try to laugh it off. That trope is trash. It's never been good. Okay, it's never been good. So what I actually appreciate from Chainsaw Man is that they subvert that all together, because Denji, you may think he's like that, and he tries to go into those advances, but it never works out. It's literally the opposite if you really look at it from that perspective. And I feel like people do miss that about that trope that's in here, that is a subversion of that. I love any time when a mangaka, like Hunter x Hunter, does the same thing when it comes to subverting certain tropes in shonen, and he's able to make it work in a different manner. That's how you know you have somebody that knows what they're doing when it comes to writing, okay? That's all I'm saying, all right? How you doing, JC? It has been a while. What's been up with you? Also, possibly. I wouldn't be surprised if we come to find out he's been a masochist this whole time, stuck out here getting stepped on all day with heels and everything by his wife. He's like, step on me. He's like, no, I'm gonna add that to my manga. Let me get freaking Denji on the ground, and we're gonna have Yoru stepping on him, and he's gonna be barking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't know about all that. I hope he doesn't. Okay, we don't need to do all that. There's literally no reason. We don't need to do that. Like, Fujimoto, if you're in here, don't do it. Okay, I'm joking. Okay. Yeah. Also ate his pet goldfish. Exactly. I mean, he made Makima, and that's also true too. He did make Makima, and that kind of should also tell you in of itself. It's just funny how so many people always miss the points of like, and it's some surface level points of like of Chainsaw Man, especially, but in particular with like Denji. He's not a hard character to understand, so it's just interesting that we're not seeing some of the levels of what he decides to do when it comes to his characters, and a lot of the subversion that he does do within the shonen trope category. So I appreciate that. The man can write. Like, Fujimoto is good, okay? So what about also liking him, giving me an itch would make him take a mile so he can get answers. Also is embarrassed and wants to avoid him, but Denji is confused and wants to answer. Exactly. That's why I was hoping maybe we even see some inner monologue within Denji to kind of figure out like where he fully stands in the particular things. It feels like he it's like, I don't think he's bothered, I guess, by the situation. Like, in that sense, he's more or less wondering, like, what is going on with her? Why is this even happening? But he's also still a victim in this whole situation. He doesn't understand what's really going on. You don't understand what's even happening to him like this in this sense anyways either. Because he got, again, like I said already, he's been victimized throughout the entire freaking series, and that's not even just based off the women in the show. His whole life has been this bullcrap. Like, people gotta remember, the first episode, the first chapter you get from him, he was selling body parts. He didn't even have balls going in chapter 1, okay? He grew them thing back because freaking Puchito got into the side of his body. I'm just saying, like, like, he was selling body parts in his life. He did not live good. He always struggled. His life is literally struggle. You never want to be dingy, okay? Puchito probably is like, man, look, live the best life you can live, and he can see within his thoughts. And if he's really disturbed by this entire thing, maybe we might see Puchito. I doubt it, but who knows? Who knows? That's supposedly the actual only actual photo we have of him is in Manga's cosplay. See, and there's that too, and there's that too. So that's all I'm saying. It's all there. It's in your face. We just gotta actually see it. You know, we just gotta see it. I think Yoru likes dingy, but it uses Asa as an 100% JC, 100%. Like, because you gotta remember, JC, at the end of the day, your Asa's feelings is also Yoru's feelings, and Yoru's feelings are also Asa's feelings. They're really molding into one character as this thing progresses. So she says that, but there is a conflict that's there. Again, the whole purpose of what they were supposed to do in that back alleyway was to cut his dick off. But she just simply walked away. That should tell you something right there, that there's something more happening there. She couldn't finish the job. She finished something else. All right, but that's beside the point. This is why I say, like, I do predict that there's gonna be other moments within Chainsaw Man where they're probably gonna be alone, and this type of stuff's gonna happen. Honestly, I look forward to seeing Nayuta come back. I look forward to seeing Nayuta come back to see how she reacts and finds out about this type of, like, interaction that they've been going on here. Also, speaking of control and other things of that nature, I want to also bring this up real quick. I don't know if anyone's really brought this up either. Because we keep talking about all the women in the series controlling Denji in some way, shape, or form. Even Nayuta, though it's not in the same sense as, like, how the other women are, but the control's still there. They're still being used in some way. If you remember correctly, Denji within his life has to still kind of abide in some ways to what Nayuta has. And whenever you have a child, your life is not yours anymore in the first place. So taking up this arms to Nayuta's just as bad as any of the other women in his life, technically speaking, because he's still not free. He's still not free to choose and do what he wants to do. And he's been like this in his entire life. He hasn't been able to have that literal complete free will to just make decisions. Like, you couldn't even bring her over to the house because obviously Nayuta didn't want that. You know what I mean? Like, there's still control there, and it's still unhealthy in that environment, regardless of how cute we might think Nayuta actually is, because she still can be a problem, especially when it comes to Denji's lifestyle. And it's just like, Denji just has it so rough, and more people need to see that this man is not living good. Like, he needs help, and there's nobody in his life that can really help him out like that. That's why he needs Aki back. He needs an Aki, but I don't think anyone's going to be like that for him. I highly doubt Yoshida's going to do that. So, I digress. Yes, yeah, Denji was TP that had doo-doo stains in it, bro. Like, he was not eating food. Like, that's why it's kind of crazy. So it felt good. Like, she out here freaking tongue kissing this sucker, and you do realize this man eats doo-doo, all right? Like, I'm sorry. Also, you're literally going through a fight club. You have seen the movie, you know? Yeah, exactly. It's literally that. It's literally that, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious, but also sad at the same time, because, like, Asa obviously have done this a little bit differently, obviously, right? This is not a situation that she wanted to happen, but her emotions are strong for this dude. So there's just a lot of confusion on both ends, and it's just not helping the situation. Like, this situation is already terrible as it is, and we still got the prophecy you got to worry about. We got freaking family in the background, like freaking plotting, scheming, like doing evil. You know, there's all this stuff happening. And like I said, we haven't heard anything from the class president. He could be feeding information. We don't know. Like, they have been very, very, very silent. So I'm also concerned about that too. All right. So there's a lot of players in the making here for this situation to get real stupid real quick, okay? This whole buddy cop situation is probably going to end here real soon, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. I'm looking forward to seeing the next chapter, though. This wasn't bad. This wasn't a bad chapter. I did enjoy it. I feel like it wasn't as high and as good as the last chapter. I will say that much. But it does give us the insight that we're looking for, at least on not Nayuta's end, on Yoru's end and on Asa's end. We always needed that inner monologue, and I'm glad that we actually got to experience that finally, because they need more of this. I need to see more of them actually talking to each other. You know what I mean? We don't see a lot of that nowadays, and I want to see more of that, honestly. Kuchida might know what she means by the other her. Kuchida knew that Makima really wanted a family without control. You know what? Funny enough, JC, I mean, it could be it, because you gotta remember, they all fought against each other. He fought all the four horsewomen. There's a chance, like, there's this theory, active theory that you know, we've all kind of concocted a little bit, that they all must have liked Chainsaw Man at one point in time, is what it is. So, like, Kuchida himself actually might know what ticks within all of them, of what they actually want and what their desires actually are. So, you know, you have a point. So if Kuchida does, like, pop up to say something, there could be information that he can get from Kuchida that, hey, Yoru just wants companionship. Because what I think was going on with Yoru, and I've always stated this like many a times, that she's been bullied by her other sisters. I feel like she's like the runt of the family here, and she's always had issues. That's why whenever you make fun of her in some ways, she gets really triggered by that. If you remember in the early stages of part 2 and seeing her personality, she gets very triggered when you try to like talk back to her and like, you know, say some mean things. You know what I mean? She does not handle that well at all, and that's like a sign of somebody always being like bullied or pushed upon, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what kind of was going on here. So her thing might just be some form of companionship, or someone that actually maybe actually care about her or something like that. It could be any one of sorts of those kind of ideas, and I think all of the Four Horsewomen have some type of connection in that sense, and wanting of something as well, you know what I mean? So it's just in due time, hopefully we get more information on that. But that's just the active theory that I kind of have, that they all liked Mr. Puchita at some point in time, and he has all the information we need. But I don't know how much we're gonna see of Puchita as a thing here. So, because I mean, he's trying not to go into Chainsaw Man. You gotta remember that. I think Nayuta will fully turn to the dark side. Murray and Public Safety could be silent because Nayuta probably. I mean, that's also true too. Because again, what was going on with Nayuta, I can see that being the case as well. Nayuta could legit actually finally start unlocking her powers for real. Because this is the first, I feel like, real opposition that she had to actually deal with. You know, she's literally fighting for her life. So with doing that, that means she's actually, I can see her going. That's kind of sucks though, because I feel like Denji has been trying his best to make her be a normal girl, but she even has that same thought process of, I'm doing this, but it's like, it's not really working. I can just control people, so why can't we just, as devils, just do that? She's always had that, but she actually respects Denji in that sense, so she tries not to do it. But given that Denji's no longer there, then she could have a whole armada. She could find a way to actually get her contracts in order to make some stuff actually go down. So we haven't seen Naruto in a minute, so there's a chance that throughout all this time, something clicked and something changed within her character. So it is concerning. You know, it is very concerning. So again, this is the first time I think she's been alone, maybe even this long away from Denji as well. So this is a problem here. You also have Asa's dream of stepping on chickens. And yeah, yes. I mean, there is that dream. Like, there's a lot of dreams I'm actually noticing too. That's actually all here. So a lot of that stuff's gonna play a part here. Somebody on Twitter said the sisters basically raising Denji as cattle. As interesting. I mean, in a way, that, you know, that kind of, I can see that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Because at the end of the day, everybody is trying to get some form of control over this dude and try to veer him in certain directions. So like, I can see that being the case. That's not a bad theory at all. that could be more in line to the truth, actually. So, I can see that in some shape or way form here, but we don't know the last sister here, so I don't know how she is when it comes to how she feels when it comes to Chainsaw Man. That's the thing here, or to Denji for that matter. I think Yoru wants recognition. She wants respect. Thinks being the most feared enemy, she will probably give praise she wants. That could be the case too. She doesn't like I said, she doesn't like people talking down to her. So that could also be something here too. I can't tell exactly what, but I just know that I feel like, again, she's been bullied a lot and she just doesn't want to be looked down upon anymore. So I can see that actually being like, I want to be on the same playing field. I want people to actually respect who I am and understand that I'm also somebody too. I'm not this nobody that you're just going to ignore and step on. You know what I mean? Like, her powers in general, if you think about it, they are a little difficult to really like enact in this sense, especially in the Chainsaw Man world. Especially considering that also, you know, she did what he did and made like war like non-existent. So like her powers was like the weakest one, and it's harder to get, I think, contracts in that sense to make her stronger like that. You know what I mean? Whereas like Fammy, it's not that hard to do. If there's famine, if the people are starving, she's gonna be good. Like she's not gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? You already know the control devil. You saw what Makima did when it comes to her ability. It's not that hard to do, and I don't think the other one either is having that problem with that either, because it's literal death. Like, I mean, that fear. Like, it's gonna be there. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. There's still so much we don't know about Buchita. Oh, 100%. That's the thing, where he's such an enigma that we can only make assumptions on him. But he's also, this is part of the reason why I keep saying we need inner monologues of things of this nature for this character to start coming more into light, because we don't know a lot about the guy. And I feel like hopefully within this arc, honestly, we start this part 2 needs to explore that idea more in general, and start giving us actual information when it comes to Puchita's side of things here, which probably can then bleed into the part 3 of whatever Chainsaw Man will become afterwards. That is something that needs to happen. So we need information on Puchita, or just insight of how he actually thinks for real, because there's more to it than meets the eye. Obviously. She might be the real final boss. Gun Devil was up for a shadow for a long time, but Makima was the real threat. Family has been pulling strings the whole time. Oh, 100%. I don't know if she's... Funny enough, I still don't know if she's going to be the final boss, but I did bring that up at one point, that she might be. But it's hard to say, because we still do have the prophecy, but she could be the person that's prophesied more so than what we think it could be. You know what I mean? The subversion of expectations is also something that Fujimoto does all the time. So this could even be something that will get turned upside down. She's been concocting so many different plans, doing so many different things. So I wouldn't put it past it that she's been this close to the situation this entire time, and come to find out she's the one that's actually enacting everything and being that person to have this whole thing happen. We think she's trying to stop the prophecy, but on the other hand, she could be the prophecy itself. Yeah. She needs displaying what really happened in the fight between... Yes! That's the other thing too, because I am very curious. That fight happened. No one really said much of how the fight went, but we just know that he didn't do well. He struggled. Okay, that's why he went back. He went to the human world, out there freaking about to die and crap, and that's when freaking Denji came by. So that is true. That is true. If there is a part 3, I think family definitely the big bad in this arc. At this arc, I do believe there's a part 3. 100%. I think he's setting it up in that manner. I feel like that's what's happening here. What's interesting too, I guess maybe is taking the format in some ways, because if anybody ever reads JoJo Bizarre Adventures or knows of JoJo Bizarre Adventures, you know that they always have different main characters within their show and everything, and they always have parts. I do feel like with Chainsaw Man, I think that's kind of what he's doing too. Within the third section, I don't know if there's gonna be another main character per se, because we could just have Denji and Asa be like the main characters, and that could be the part 3 of it, and they're actually like together or something, because I do see them at the end of the day surviving this and actually like being a team, you know what I mean? And it can be like the Bonnie and Clyde kind of situation. It can be Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of situation with how they are, and so they actually can maybe work towards in that direction. Maybe I can see that potentially being the case. I don't know, but at the same time, I can see the other way around too. But I feel like that's maybe what part 3 could be about, and then the fall off between those two at that point as well. So again, the fact that Yoru did what she didn't actually follow through with her plan, shows how fragile her actual ideals are and what her follow through is. Like, she keeps saying she wants to fight Chainsaw Man. My thing is, will she actually do it? Will she actually even kill Chainsaw Man? Could she do it? Because like, this chapter brings that question up too. Her feelings are conflicted now. She's struggling with that, and the fact that she did this should tell you that by itself. So you also got to put that into play too now, as opposed to like them actually having a fight. I doubt it. She might even protect him from like Katana Man, because Katana Man was the same fight too. Like, there's another layer that's there. That's why I'm like, they're more inclined to have emotions, and it all kind of follows through later on. So just throwing it out there. I rejoice if we get a part 3. I will too, because I like Chainsaw Man. I know it can run a little on the slow end at times, and I understand that, and that is a big con to the series. He is writing for the volumes, and I feel like he should be able to not condense, but put more information in every chapter if he's gonna do it like this, because it is harder to try to follow through with the series like this on a week-to-week basis, or not even week-to-week, because he's not always weekly. So like the fact that we're having this break right now breaks up the momentum that the manga will have, and that's like literally the problem with it. Like, he's not as consistent as he needs to be. Now, I understand taking breaks, but at the same time, you gotta make sure if you're having some momentum, you keep that going. But I digress. Hey, because other stuff making me believe now. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't think there was a part 3. Oh, but now you're thinking that. Now you're thinking that too. I thought so. So you remember we had this conversation before. I did say at one point that I thought this might be like the end of just Chainsaw Man. Like, I thought we're actually just getting to the end of the series. But the more I'm seeing it now, my tune has changed. It feels like we might have a part 3, or there might be a continuation after this whole arc is done. I don't see it necessarily ending just yet, because there's still more that needs to be said and told throughout the series here. I do see that. MAP's Kendrick needs to meet the Fujimotos for the last Jitsu lights. Just what you talking about? I'm sure it did fight all 4 of them at once. Kind of hard. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense why he had problems fighting all 4 of them at the same time. But I do wonder how, again, that battle's interesting, because what I understand about the 4 horsewomen, their abilities really rely on the outside world getting them stronger in that sense. Like, Chainsaw Man by itself is already kind of strong, just the fact that it can erase people's can erase the entity itself. Like, you don't even have to be there. If he eats you, you're done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that he has that ability alone, even if people aren't afraid of necessarily like chainsaws and all that, even though I think there's more to even that, because like there's something else to him. But again, Puchita's such an enigma, so there's something else to him that allows him to gain extra strength, you know? So I do believe when it comes to the fight there, I don't know how strong they actually are, because they do need certain requirements, contracts, things of that nature, to actually even combat on a strength level to other devils. Because if you think about it, if they don't have no fear towards any of this stuff, it is very difficult to actually have them win against other devils, like the Blood Devil, for instance, or whatever the case is. It's harder to fight that, because their abilities are more reliant on contracts and other things of that nature to get them stronger. Because if you look at it, like the War Devil right now struggles using her own ability because there's not a lot of fear in it. She's getting better, obviously, but it's like it's harder to make even a proper weapon to make the fight even work. You know what I mean? That's part of the reason why I say like her ability in general is probably weaker than the other 3, given how her ability works. You know what I mean? So it's just all of them are in similar boats. The reason why Makima was so strong to begin with was because she set everything up like she did during her time on the human plane here, making all these contracts and making it where she's invulnerable, basically, you know what I mean? So she did a lot to make herself untouchable. That's the thing here. So, and I feel like they all kind of have to have something along those lines, otherwise they're not that strong. Don't get me wrong, like, again, Makima also had a hand, so there's also that too. Like, she she can still fight. Like there is other things there. I don't know what Fami can do, but she is able to summon other devils, so that in of itself is also a good step. Again, War Devil never really got that. Like, I think she had the nuclear War Devil at one point, right? But that guy's gone because of Chainsaw Man. You know what I mean? So she had like other utilities there, but they're also just other devils, and it's harder to try to keep that together. So I do wonder how that fight went. That's the thing here. I'm looking forward to this, whenever they do explain it. It's real. Chainsaw Man can nuke Katana Man. Remember, both Asa and Dinky got stronger because of the. I mean, they probably could. They probably could. I don't think Katana Man got any more strength, honestly, in this particular situation. But I'm just saying. Probably gives up on fighting Chainsaw Man for a bit, but then given to her impulses towards the end and ruins everything. I mean, that's not impossible. I can see that. Unfortunately, I could see that as well. And it could be like a lover's quarrel type of fight situation, and then they somehow make up in the mix of all that fighting or something. Maybe, because remember, you also gotta remember too, when it comes to shonens, he could actually subvert this. Now I'm thinking about it. They do have a fight, right? Because anytime you fight somebody in a shonen, there's words that are exchanged through the fight, and it makes you have a better connection to the person. So I have a feeling he might use that kind of trope onto them, and maybe that's how they can like legit actually be together at that point. You think about, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Naruto Sasuke had exactly that. I'm just watching Windbreaker right now, and Windbreaker, freaking Sakura had this fight just now, and now he understands this dude, and now he respects him. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just saying, it's still a shonen, and he might do that. Did the art style change? A little bit, yes. Like, I don't know if it's an art style change, but I noticed that, at least in this particular alleyway, there's been more, what do they call it? It's like a screen effect. Screen tones. There's more screen tones being involved within the art, I was noticing with it. I know this more so now because I'm trying to like render like the pictures out for my thumbnail. I have a hard time doing that right now, given that he keeps using the screen tones. So it gives you a different type of lighting setting. So it does make the art look a little bit different is the thing here. I don't think his art style changed too much, but it's just the way he's going about, I guess in a way, coloring it. It's not really coloring, but you know what I mean? There's tones that he's putting to it. Like, there's a lot of different tones that he's adding to the manga. That's why it looks the way it does. So, yeah. It's not as detailed. I just noticed the screen tones being like more involved with it. The details are still kind of there because you can see like the sweat stains and all that crap on them. It does look a bit more messy. I can say that much. But I think that's also because of the situation at hand. This is a very sweaty situation, so he's trying to convey that through his art that this is a very shaky situation. They're not. Both of them are melting in a way, right? Within their own emotions. I think, from an artistic standpoint, I think he's trying to convey it in that way, which is why it looks like that. But that's just my take on it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But that's what it feels like, from at least what I've been seeing from this particular section. I got you, Jace. We're about to get out of here too anyways. But before you leave, though, what would you give this chapter for Chainsaw Man this week? What is the rating for it? For me, I think ultimately what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this chapter an 8 out of 10. Because the fact that we got the highlights of what Asa feels about this, understanding that she dropped the bombshell on Denji, that Denji now knows Asa likes him. Also seeing how Yoru is and how she's kind of changing as a character because of Asa. There's a lot of information that has been shown within this chapter just based off of this when it comes to the characterization of Asa. And seeing just Denji kind of be broken down in this situation, and the alleyways being also symbolism there. Really good touches that were added to this chapter. So it was a solid chapter this week. So I give it 8 out of 10. Giving it a 7. I feel that. It's not. I was like 7.5 to 8, but I wanted to give 8 because there is a lot of subtleties here. Like I just said about the art too. He's doing a lot to make this release pop out and give you that feeling that you're looking for. So I'll give it that. Last chapter I would give 9 out of 10. This chapter 8. Yeah. Last chapter I gave the last chapter 9 out of 10 actually. So you're like me, Woke. You're like me with this. 7.5 out of 10. Not as good as the last one. But Yoru slipped up, moves the plot. In my opinion, yeah, exactly. It does. It moves up the plot quite a bit. So I agree with you on that, JC, and that's a good rating. Just if you had a bit more. I do agree, because that's what I'm saying. I was like conflicted between 7.5 and then 8, but I do like this chapter, but I do wish there was more to it too, because the fact that he is taking a break next week, it does bother me just a little bit. All right, I wish that he could do at least another chapter for next week, but this is what he does. It is what it is. There's only so much we can do here. I think family is physically weak after seeing how, which is true. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like they all have their strengths and weaknesses, and ultimately they're not really all that strong. I feel like Makima probably might be the best when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, because maybe she's trained in that particular situation, because she needs control over herself. She's not going to sit there and just be weak and let somebody whoop her butt, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't allow that kind of situation to happen. Family probably had a situation within hell or something that allowed her to have certain control over devils and of this nature, because, you know, famine is famine. You know what I mean? So there could be some kind of contract. There's something with it we don't know. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's like, there's a play that happened within hell that allowed her to have some level of strength. And same thing with Yoru. Like Yoru had certain weapons on stock with her, but that's pretty much about it. You know what I mean? Because like outside of that, she don't seem like she's a hand-to-hand combat kind of guy or kind of girl. I mean, she's not someone that can just actually physically fight in that sense. Like Makima probably mopped the floor with her, and we know nothing about the Death Devil yet, but I'm pretty sure she probably is like maybe the all-around, because her primordial fear is one of the strongest out of all this, out of the entire series. So I'm expecting it for her to be the strongest person in the goddamn series. So those are my thoughts on it. Those are my thoughts on it, right? It's been a long time since we had an hour-long stream talking about Chainsaw Man, which is true. I didn't realize we were going to be talking about it this much. This is part of the reason why I give it 8 out of 10 too, because there is a lot to talk about, particularly with this chapter, and just the insights of everything that is Chainsaw Man, because I wanted to talk a little bit more even outside of just this chapter and just give us more information about Denji and other characters within the series. And maybe this can enlighten, maybe y'all can enlighten me even, you know what I mean? So this is why I love having discussions like this about Chainsaw Man. So this is why I wanted to do that. And it also helps you that, hey, we're not gonna have a freaking review next week anyways, review discussion for this, so might as well make this one a little bit longer, right? So, all right. That's my rating for this week's chapter for Chainsaw Man. I'm still going to stick with 8 out of 10. I did like it. If you guys can, real quick, can y'all like this stream, because it helps the algorithm push the stuff forward. Thank y'all so much for watching, and anyone new that did come through to watch the stream or watch the video when it goes up after I get done with the stream. I appreciate y'all, because y'all push this stuff up to a higher rating and everything from that last chapter, so I do appreciate that a lot, okay? So thank you. Also, if you guys can, leave a comment below. Helps with the algorithm as well, with interactions. Be able to get more Chainsaw Man fans up in here. But I do want to also know what your thoughts are on this week's chapter of Chainsaw Man. If you haven't already told me your thoughts already. If you're here live, then cool. But the ones that watch this as a video, I want to know. Let's discuss some more Chainsaw Man. All right. I will be back later today. We're going to be playing Broforce yet again over on twitch.tv/Thabreakmaster. But we're also going to be reading Kagurabachi live. So if you want to see the live reaction to that live, always jump in and watch the fun and hilarity, okay? Because before it becomes an actual video. All right, guys. Drink goddamn water. Take goddamn vitamins. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, people.